for the Algonquin contracts in the same 5-month period that Boston Gas and Bay State and Columbia Gas had asked for. So we filed on March 31st, and based on negotiations with Kinder Morgan, the council is correct that there was an extension that was granted until September 1st because we wanted to make sure the department had at least that same 5-month period. That period is exactly the period that the department has already successfully reviewed very similar types of contracts. So while the company will certainly go back in the direction and see if there's any further latitude you can deal with the September 1st, council's allegation and insinuation that somehow a 5-month period is not adequate time to review these contracts is belied by the history of the department.
I also want to note, none of these companies serve in New Hampshire. So you're not talking about these companies in New Hampshire. They don't serve in New Hampshire. So they're not, different company you're talking about, it's not these companies.
We all know this, there's an LGC group, which your clients are members.
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
It'll come out here, shouldn't it?
Okay. So before we go back on the record, I think it would be very helpful to see if there could be an extension.
Hi, Vincent DeVito. I'm Vincent DeVito.
Yes.
The parent on behalf of the Northeast. And it may be, since we're off, it may be helpful, if the commission, we can call FERC, correct? I thought that was my turn. Time is a pre-application phase, so there's nothing concerning about it. And you'll be able to see and talk to them about the schedule and the process. The September 1st date is the developer target date. But all the jurisdictions are trying to meet this, but if there's issues as to how the FERC's going to proceed and the flexibility that they have, you can contact them, correct? Did I say something funny?
Thank you. All right.
Madam Mayor, I'm sorry, let me add one other thing. If the companies are going to be looking into whether they can extend the agreement with Kinder Morgan, does it make sense to find out what that information is before the Attorney General comments on this procedural schedule? Because this procedural schedule may not be the ultimate procedural schedule should that contract be able to be extended.
And to that note, we will get information tomorrow morning to the department.
That would be very helpful.
No problem.
Yeah. I mean, I think even if we could build in at least another month, that would be extremely helpful. And then we can figure out later. I think I want the comments as soon as possible on what we have before us, and then if we are able to receive another month of time, we can work it in appropriately.
I will get you an answer by noon tomorrow.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question since we're not connected?
This is a procedural conference.
It's procedural, based upon what you said. Council over here is stating the filing with FERC. Kinder Morgan has not made a formal application to FERC. It's what's called as a pre-application. So they haven't submitted their formal application to FERC.
I'm talking about something different. I'm not representing Kinder Morgan.
Right.
I'm not discussing it.
We do not have Kinder Morgan as a party in this proceeding.
Right.
We are dealing with contracts filed by Boston Gas and Bay State Gas, who also will proceed to FERC at the appropriate time. So that's a separate issue that you're raising. Okay. Okay. All right, so noon tomorrow, information about possibly moving your requested deadline would be extremely helpful. Noon Monday for comments on proposed schedules. If the AG wishes to put forth its own dates, that would be helpful. So we will go back on the record and wrap this up. All right, so we're back on the record. We've talked about the procedural schedule. We have a schedule proposed by the companies and one proposed by the department, both of which are extremely tight and aggressive. We are going to have the companies talk to their people and see if perhaps we can move out their requested deadline. There will be information on that by noon tomorrow, as well as information on the FERC proceeding. Is that what we discussed?
I think it's all one and the same.
Okay, that would be very helpful. And then by noon on Monday, I'd asked for parties to comment on the proposed schedules, or perhaps for the AG to propose its own dates, if that would be helpful.